Well, welcome back to WIFR, now digitally for Football Frenzy Plus, brought to you by McCloskey Kessler. I'm Anthony Ferretti. He is Ryan Bridges. Both. What are your impressions? This was your first week here in the state line, I should say, covering these football games. What were your impressions on how these teams did?
A lot of fun, a lot of atmosphere. The student sections got really creative.
Yeah.
You saw some neon themes. There was a kind of an old-time American theme to it. So a lot of different festivities going on around the games as well as the games themselves being great too.
Yeah, the student section's always interesting. No matter what they do, it could be like tie-dye, construction, farming. They always have interesting themes and always go all out, which is really cool to see. Definitely makes that live atmosphere at those games just feel that much better, almost like you're at a college environment.
I'll tell you a game that had a really good live atmosphere. It was Guilford at Belvedere North.
Alrighty.
This was quite the game that we're going to show for you here, and really it was an incredible showing from these fans out in Guilford. You see the marching band, and the first highlight we're going to show you, it's actually on special teams. Guilford back to punt. Here comes Antoine Williams just blowing it up. Guilford offensive lineman able to pick up the ball, but because it's fourth down, that's a turnover on downs, and Williams fired up with the rest of his team. And then it's Andrew Bucci on the quarterback keeper. He punches it in. Extra point is good. 7-0 Blue Thunder on top. And you thought they might be heading towards the same blowout that they were before, but Guilford responded with a long touchdown. And then here is another one as Grayson Weber finds Jordan Lopez for his second score of the game. 13-7 at that point, and then it all flipped in the second half as Belvedere North comes back to win it 21-13. That game just went final a few moments ago.
Elsewhere in the NIC 10, we have Boylan hosting Freeport. We are scoreless a couple minutes into the game. Denarian Taylor looking for some open space. Titans defense, though, there to punch the ball out of his hands. That forces a turnover. Pretzels, though, holding the Titans to a field goal attempt, and the special teams unit coming up with the block. And now about 5.5 minutes left in the first. Denarius Epps turning on the Jets. Nothing but green grass ahead of them. That is an 80-yard run, putting Freeport up 6-0. He gets into the end zone. Time winding down in the first. Caden Gates is going to punch it in from just a few yards out. Extra point gives Boylan a 7-6 lead as time expires after one. But it's the Pretzels who would come out with the 18-14 victory. And Harlem taking on Belvedere in week one for the second straight season. Huskies won that 2024 game. In the second, it's 21-zip. Harlem Devon Embry brought down by a pack of Huskies on that one. Defense fired up. It is now 3rd and 22 for the Bucks. One more stop for Harlem, but Embry connecting to Nicholas Alvarez. He's deking out defenders en route to a 31-yard gain. That sets up the Bucks in Husky territory. Harlem, though, would force a 4th down. Belvedere trying to convert, but that ball is going to miss a defender and just hit the ground. Harlem leads 21-0 at the half, and they would go on to win the game 30-3.
That's not too surprising. Harlem, one of the better teams in the area. Let me tell you about one of the best teams in the area, though. That's the Lena Winslow Panthers, and they're back for another season in front of a packed house at Panther Stadium against the Forston Cardinals. Early on, though, Cash Leshman, he does take this sack for 3 yards. It's Liam Settlestrom on the tackle. But later on, the Panthers would get into the end zone via an Aiden Wild 1-yard rushing touchdown, one of their best players, back for another year, trying to get a state championship. Once again, Lena Winslow brings it down. Tyree Davis on the stop. They lead 8-0 a little bit into the first quarter, and they double that advantage. One of their running backs, Ashton Gerber, gets on his horse. He takes it 50 yards down the sideline for the touchdown. They punch in the 2-point conversion, and Forston is just no match for one of the best teams in the state. Lena Winslow, 50-12. Anthony, those were some fun games for sure.
Yeah, and it's only week one. Obviously, there were some errors, and that's expected in week one, especially with the weather that they had out there. I know at the Harlem game I was at, there was looked like it was going to be a really nice touchdown pass, but just defender couldn't get it. May have had to do with some of the weather. But, as I said, week 1, you're going to get those kinks worked out. It's going to happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of slipperiness with these footballs. We saw some errors on special teams, and that is maybe one of the phases of the game that's not too focused on in practice, but that offense and defense is hard to figure out, especially for these schools getting these new coaches and new quarterbacks into the mix.
Yeah, there are a couple of them. I know Dupac, they have a new head coach, but he's been with the program since the Dupac Co-op formed in 2017, so he's been familiar with the program. But we're going to have more coming up after this, but we're going to take a break. We'll
have more Football Frenzy Plus.
Yep.